The head alchemist of the Oathbound, Rift Warden Stellan, has finally been revealed. I was surprised when I first saw him because almost a month ago I predicted that he would look like that, except at the time I had thought the Rift Warden was a girl, but it turns out he's actually a guy as proven in the Oathbound quests. He was tasked by the Ageless Champion himself to build a stable rift gate that would serve as a bridge to new realities, giving the Oathbound access to visit them. But according to Stellan, this rift gate being built is far more important than we think. He shared with us a secret, something he's never told anyone, that there was a being, a shapeless man watching us with dark purpose. And if the rift gate isn't built in time, the consequences will be terrible. This begins to raise the question, who is Rift Warden Stellan? What is the Oathbound's plan with the rift gate? What are the Rift Warden's true intentions? And who is the shapeless man he mentioned? I have all the answers to those questions, so let's not waste any more time and bring to light the secrets of the Rift Warden. We're going to begin with the first question. Who is Rift Warden Stellan? The Rift Warden is the High Alchemist of the Oathbound. In case any of you don't know what an alchemist is or are curious, an alchemist is someone who attempts to understand, transform, and purify natural materials, which is probably what Stellan was doing with the kinetic ore, since Amy said he was studying it when the first set of Oathbound quests were released.
I tracked our special rock gift. Some tough night guy is studying them.
Astrology is also heavily tied to alchemy, which explains why Rift Warden Stellan consulted the stars about the refined kinetic ore. These stars also help Stellan gather information on the island's alignment in the cosmos, which likely confirms the 0-point move / change locations after the Fracture Live event, so the last reality would lose the 0 points location / coordinates in the Omniverse. It seems the stars will play a bigger role in the story soon, since out of nowhere 3 groups of stars just appeared in the cosmos surrounding the new Asteria island. One group is near the top left of the island with 7 stars, the second group is near the top right of the island with 8 stars, and the third is slightly below the island with 8 stars as well. Stellan's name also means stars, so there's a big connection between all of these things. It's likely that we will learn more about the importance of these stars in the following weeks or months. Moving on, Stellan is clearly close to the Ageless and is very likely to be in the Ageless's inner circle, since according to his pickaxe's description, it was gifted to him by the Ageless, and after all, he is the High Alchemist of the Oathbound, so it makes sense that he would be close to the Ageless. But even though they may be close, it seems the two have completely different plans regarding the Rift Gate, especially the Rift Warden. Speaking about the Ageless, let's move on to our next question. What is the Oathbound's plan with the Rift Gate? We already know that the Rift Gate will be used as a stable bridge to cross over and access new realities. According to Rift Warden Stellan, the Rift Gate is the Ageless Champion's dearest wish.
The Rift Gate is the Champion's dearest wish. I have my own reasons to create it, but those need not concern you yet.
This is probably because Geno wants to begin his search for genetically perfect reality. We know this because in Fortnite x Marvel Zero War issue number 3, the Imagine tells us Geno's goal is to either create a genetically perfect reality or to find one, which is why the IO always grabbed people from different realities and threw them inside the loop. It was to see if they were genetically perfect. So, for the Ageless, the Rift Gate is going to be the beginning of his search for genetically perfect reality. The Rift Gate is basically a prototype version of the actual bridge because it uses refined kinetic ore, and it also allows the user to access whichever reality they want, just like the IO bridge did. This now all ties in with the last 2 questions. What are the Rift Warden's true intentions, and who is the Shapeless Man? In the new Oathbound quest, once we help the Rift Warden get the coordinates of where the new island is located in the cosmos, he gains our trust and tells us a secret he's never told anyone, not even the Ageless himself.
Thank you. I will choose to trust you with a secret I have never told. There is a being, a shapeless man. He watches us with dark purpose. If we do not finish the Rift Gate, the consequences will be terrible.
Immediately, as I heard that, I instantly thought of the Nothing. In case some of you are a bit unfamiliar with the Nothing, let me recap its story for you. The Nothing is a primordial force that existed before the 0 point. But in a burst of pure creation known as the Big Bang, the 0 point sprang into being. The Nothing never had a physical form, even in the beginning of time. It was always shapeless. It is the embodiment of evil and darkness itself. The Nothing also has a voice. It has the voice of a man, but uses the first person pronouns such as we, us, and ours.
We see you're finally prepared to face your fate. You do not question who we are, or why we have chosen you. Is it because you already know?
This is because it is very likely to be a hive mind. I've mentioned this in the past before, but I view the Nothing as a dark cloud or dark spirit of sort. The only people who have access to the Nothing hive mind are likely to only be the higher ranks of the last realities, such as the Cube Queen and the Herald. Anyways, this all matches up with the exact description that Stellan gave us of the shapeless man. Now, some people are claiming it may be Zero War Geno, but here's why that doesn't work. People are saying Geno is rebuilding his body at the moment, which explains why Stellan saw a shapeless man, but I disagree. In the Fortnite X Marvel Zero War issue number 5, in only one page, Geno already put half of his entire body back together. If he was able to put himself back together that fast, then it makes sense that he already put himself back together all the way at the start of Chapter 3 Season 3. Geno doesn't have time to waste. He probably knew that one day he was going to get thrown to the uncalibrated 0 point, so he had to figure out how to put himself back together and how to do it fast, which he did. So now that that's out of the way, let's continue on about what the Rift Warden's intentions are. Understanding Stellan's motives is sort of complicated. At first, it seems that Stellan wants to build the Rift Gate to save all other realities from the Nothing. But then later on, when Amy tells us her suspicions about Stellan and tests a smaller rift gate using Stellan's design that sends her test vessels to the last reality, bringing back dreadful news regarding the Seven, our perspective shifts and makes us think that Stellan may indeed have bad intentions. But I feel like this may be a purposeful misdirection by Donald Mustard. If you listen to Stellan's voice carefully, he sounds slightly fearful of the Nothing, but that doesn't mean that the Nothing is pressuring him to build the rift gate. He wants to build the rift gate because he wants to protect everything from the Nothing. A theory I have is that the Nothing could have possibly confronted Stellan, maybe wanted to recruit him to the last reality, but Stellan denied his request after seeing how evil and destructive the Nothing is. I am confident that the Nothing has tried to recruit many creatures and beings to the last reality, which he did succeed with most of the time, but there had to be some people who rejected him, and I think that one of those people was Stellan. Even though Stellan may have rejected the Nothing, that doesn't mean he isn't fearful of it. Now, some of you may be asking, if the test rift was based off of Stellan's design, then why did Amy's test subjects go to the last reality? Stellan's design of the rift gate isn't to open a portal to the last reality. It's a way to get to new realities using a pure portal instead of creating a sideways rift. If you don't know what a sideways rift is, it's a rift in the sky that opens up in reality 0 and another reality. For example, what happened in Batman Fortnite Foundation, a rift opened up in Gotham City and one in reality 0. The only way to close such a portal is by closing it from both sides, which is what Batman and the Foundation did in the comic. A pure portal is when the rift gate, 0 point, or rift gun is aligned to whichever reality you desire or person in the Omniverse you seek. When you walk through this portal, it will automatically close itself after a certain period of time, leaving no trace behind, unlike sideways rifts that are there until both sides from reality 0 and the other reality are closed. This is shown in the Batman Fortnite comics when Catwoman and Batman use the kinetic orb panels to get back home, when Agent Jones uses kinetic orb panels and his rift gun, and finally when Amy used the test rift. Amy desired to see the scientists again, which is why when her test subjects were thrown into the mini rift gate, they went to the last reality. Since the scientist was there, that's the reason why those test vessels ended up going. The pure portal opened up to the last reality. The reasons why the objects were changed is most likely because the last reality is a dark and evil place, so it most likely corrupted the test vessels and changed their looks. In conclusion, I believe that Rift Warden Stellan will be going to other realities and may take them over, but he will have to do that in order to protect those realities from being destroyed by the Nothing. It's also possible that this Rift Gate will be used to recruit more members to the Oathbound, which will eventually transform into the Imagined Order. Let me know what you guys think about this theory, and what do you think Stellan's motives are? If you have made it this far, please consider subscribing if you enjoy these Fortnite storyline videos. A like is appreciated, and please consider using my code Rezztro in the item shop. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.